particular period.
I was going to mention Gentile as well, but I didn't want to awaken too many bad memories for any forwards who might have played against him, who might be watching. They've probably still got the bruises. So Italy to get us underway here, the Azzurri at the start of the second half, and needing to improve, really. We've got a few key players missing, and it's shown.
They're going to be more forceful in this second half. They're going to try and win the ball a little bit higher up the field. They've got to get better support to Balotelli.
Bad first touch by Chilio. He's given Brazil the ball back. These two nations did meet at the last Confederations Cup in South Africa. Brazil won that 3-0. Here's Oscar. Engineered a bit of room and got the shot away. It was a fair bit of improvisation, that, by the Brazilians.
He had to toe poke it in the end, Oscar. Went into a really good position. It all started with Italy trying to play out from the back. There's the ball. Gets his touch too tight to him. It allows the Italian defenders to get back. And the toe poke. Not enough power. It all started because Italy tried to play out from the back. They didn't do it particularly well. When Pirlo's playing as the holding midfield player, they can pop balls into him. If he's tight, he'll wriggle away and then play the next ball forward or play it out to the second centre half. Centre back, should I say.
Over the head of Dani Alves, but De Chilio can't keep it in play and nearly slipped on that slightly different surface, just running around the outside of the pitch here. Lots of changes, but Chiellini just goes on and on. The 61st cap for him at the back. Candreva's got a knock in the face here.
He gets a little whack in the face, but I'm not sure it's actually a foul on that occasion. He got himself in a difficult situation. He tripped over the ball. There's the hand, and he actually handles it. I'd have given the free kick the other way there.
There he is again, Candreva. Got plenty of weight on the shot, but not the direction he was looking for.
That's more like it from Candreva. Good cross of the ball, and he also got a good shot on him, as he showed there.
Winner of the Italian Cup with Lazio, where he's on loan. He is still officially an Udinese player.
He first went to Lazio. The fans weren't particularly impressed with him because it was reported that as a child he supported Roma.
You want to keep that quiet, don't you? Bitter rivalry in Rome between those two clubs. Here's Marcelo. Neymar again, is every touch causing a ripple of applause around the stadium. Well, the way the semi-finals are shaping up, possibly, unless something dramatic happens tomorrow or even later today in this one, is a rematch of that 1950 famous World Cup final. Brazil against Uruguay in one semi, and Spain and Italy, a rerun of last year's European Championship final in the other one. Not bad. We'll put up with that.
Excellent semi-finals, potentially.
Marquisio, his touch was too heavy. Couldn't find Giaccherini.
Again, Dani Alves. Claiming there was an elbow in all this. There's a little flick from Holt that just gets Dani Alves on the ball. Aquilani comes across.
And he holds his face, and there was no contact with his face whatsoever.
It's embarrassing when players behave like that.
Totally and utterly embarrassing. I can tell you that in the other game in this group, Mexico have ended their goal drought with another one. Chicharito Hernandez putting Mexico 1-0 up against Japan with a header.
In the situation now for Neymar to just play this ball into the box. In the first half, the goal that's dividing the teams. How will Italy defend this one? Marcelo try and whip it in with his left foot. Again, they're very high.
Yeah, look at that room between the goalkeeper and the defenders. And if you get the delivery right, that can cause a huge problem. It did with the first goal, as Stuart was explaining in his tutorial just before the start of the half.
There it is again. On this occasion, they're just caught offside. They risk by just standing there and holding that line. I think it's a risky game they're playing. He's well offside, Fred.
Maybe a couple of others as well, but it was Fred who touched it, so he was the only one who was effectively active there. Correct decision. Meanwhile, at the other end here, Italy have an equaliser. Giaccherini with the cross shot. Tremendous finish from him.
Well, what a great strike it was from Giaccherini. Brazil went to sleep. Giaccherini came on as a sub in the first half. He's playing in the hole behind the main two strikers. Now Balotelli. It's a long kick from Buffon. Marcelo goes to try and win it. There's the first header. Balotelli does really well with the flick. Now there's a 2v1. Thiago Silva decides to go away and get into the box. I think he should go and press the ball, Thiago Silva. But by backing off into the box, he allows Giaccherini. Now he should be coming across Thiago Silva. But what a finish from Giaccherini. Had nothing else on. He had to go for goal. Brilliant strike. What a flick it was from Balotelli.
He improvised. It worked brilliantly. Look at the Brazilian defenders. They all run away from him. They say, go on, then have a shot then. Well, OK, he says, bang.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Thiago Silva has to go across. He can get in the line of the pass as well. He has to put him under pressure.
Giaccherini, only his second goal for Italy. The other one was a history maker, the fastest goal Italy have ever scored in their history after 19 seconds against Haiti. Here is within about 6 minutes of the restart of the second half. He's put Italy level. It's the first goal Brazil have conceded in the tournament.
Route 1 football, long ball, big diagonal. Andreva wins the first ball in the air against the fullback. Then Balotelli just flicks it past Dante. Giaccherini gets into that space.
Remember, a draw is still good enough for Brazil to top the group. Much superior goal difference. However, should Italy go on to win, it's a different kettle of fish. Is Marcelo. Found his way through, looks promising. Neymar was brought down now. Where was that? On the edge or outside? If it was on the line, it's a penalty, but it is counted as just outside.
It was just outside. Aquilani once again not defending well as the holding midfield player got beaten too easily. Then it switched out to Neymar. Comes inside. He's already looking to fall down before Maggio makes any sort of challenge. It was just outside. Maggio pulls his foot back. In fact, Neymar kicks the back of Maggio's leg.
Well, that stunned some of these fans here. The Italian equaliser, you couldn't see it really. But that clever little flick by Balotelli, an excellent finish from Emanuele Giaccherini of Juventus, has put the Italians level, but Brazil with a free kick right on the edge.
There's a lot of players on the ball to think about here. We know that Neymar can bend the ball over the top of the wall and get it back down again. We know that Hulk can hit it with great power. Fred's having a little look at it as well. A lot of discussions going on. Shane will be in the wall just to stop Buffon having a good sight of it. So too Gustavo.
More debates than in Congress about some of these Brazil free kicks. Think it'd be Neymar, wouldn't you, really, from that angle? Difficult to get that ball up and then down again. Oh, but he's done it! Wouldn't you just know it? Neymar again. White, brilliant.
Well, you think he's going to go over the top of the wall, but he goes the other side. He actually deceives Buffon here. Buffon, when we see it, will just move slightly to go behind the wall. As he takes that stride across, the ball goes back past him. Here it comes. He takes the stride across. There it goes. And it's hit with power into the far corner. Brilliant bit of deception from Neymar. Not particularly good goalkeeping from Buffon. You couldn't hit that any better, could you?
3 matches, 3 goals at this Confederations Cup.
He was the player brought down, won the free kick, and then he finished it off.
And those people who said going into the tournament he's a bit overrated, still think so?
Well, a lot of people said, and I would be one of them, that said there wasn't too much of an end product to his play at times. Not now.
"14 goals in his last 16 appearances for Brazil. His 23rd overall for his country in just 37 caps. Very, very high scoring rate. Quite a start to the second half.
If Balotelli had been able to get turned and seen the run of Giaccherini and Candreva. Marcelo was so wide at left back. There was a great space between the centre-back, Ponce, and Marcelo. Giaccherini made the run, Candreva made the run, but he couldn't quite get it out of his feet.
Brazil back in charge again. Cue Carnival. Hulk looking to hold it up. Italy got themselves in a little bit of a mess, but then got out of it. ESPN's coverage of Major League Soccer continues tomorrow at 5 Eastern with the game of the week. League leading scorer Jack McInerney in action for the Philadelphia Union, and Thierry Henry with the New York Red Bulls the opposition. You can watch live on ESPN, ESPN3 and the Watch ESPN app. Good game, that one. It's one to look forward to. Adrian Healy and Taylor Twellman at the microphone.
Aquilani gets lucky again. Talk about Montalivo having a really poor start to the game. Aquilani has looked sluggish when he's been defending and on the ball. He hasn't done well enough there again. Takes his first touch, doesn't get it out of his feet. He's lucky to win the free kick, I think.
Look a bit more purposeful in this second half, though, Italy.
It's interesting, just after the players came out, Prandelli went to the side of the pitch and got the players around him, the attacking players. He tried to rally them, give them some information. To give them that little bit of bite.
Another reason for hope for Italy is their under-21s reached the final of the European Championship this week. They're beaten by Spain in the end. Fred plays it forward. Neymar's there again. Naggio's challenge was okay. Candreva. Free kick. Neymar's challenge. Now he needs to just watch it, Neymar, because he has been yellow carded, remember. They've got to think about that. The coach has to think about that a little bit too, with the semi coming up.
Right decision from the referee. Neymar was actually grabbing hold of Maggio. Fans don't like it. Well played, the referee.
There is going to be an amnesty after the semi-final, so nobody's going to miss the final on the totting up process. That's not a bad idea, that, for me. I think they should do that at all the big tournaments, because it is maybe not in the Confederations Cup, but certainly things like the Champions League, the World Cup. It's the game of a player's career, not just like an ordinary suspension. Candreva. Spread wide here for Maggio. Is more of a wing-back than a conventional right-back. He loves to get forward and get a goal or two, usually, too. Here he is now, in fact, in exactly that role. Diamante goes up with a header.
Yeah, Manta does well jumping at the far post, probably one of the smallest players on the field. Against Dani Alves. Here's the goal again, Giaccherini across the goalkeeper. Julien Cesar's had very little to do. He can't stop that one going in.
He just got so much velocity on it, didn't he? Chiellini goes down, clutching his face in the penalty area.
When he realises the penalty hasn't been given, he gets up pretty quickly.
He's claiming he was elbowed to the referee. Free kick will be given this time. It's not been an easy match to handle this for the referee.
Once again with the foul. Too much contact, was there? Maggio looking for it.
Now know all about the fact that he's got a yellow too, won't they? Italy.
They won't be worried about getting him sent off, because Neymar does go to ground far too easily and try and get other players booked.
Mario Balotelli, 35 yards, deflected on the way through, needed the fists of Julio Cesar to keep that away. Diamante. Thiago Silva with the clearance, back to Balotelli again. Can he match Neymar by scoring in every game of the tournament? Meanwhile, Mexico have scored again against Japan, and so has Chicharito. 2-0 to Mexico in that one. It will not keep them in the competition, however. They're already knocked out, playing for pride and maybe a little morale boost as well for the World Cup qualification. Balotelli. Diamante. Italians seeing more of the ball in the opposition half, though, now. Ischilio. No, it's gone out of play. Well, it looked like it did anyway. Diamante plays it into Balotelli. It did look like the whole of the ball might have crossed the line there. I think the referee might have missed one. Candreva.
Ischilio was stumbling and not controlling it particularly well.
Italy pressing high up the pitch in a change of approach and seeing plenty of ball. Aquilani playing it through, and it was that man Giaccherini arriving again.
I'm not sure he was offside. The assistant referee has given it. Here is the ball played into Balotelli. He's trying to back in, he's trying to back in, and then he's got a right arm on him. He's pulled to the ground by Donche. He was looking for it as well, Balotelli. Just needed to leave the ball out in front of him so he could twist and turn. Once he got underneath his feet, there was no way he was going to be able to twist and turn and get a shot away. Much better attacking performance from Italy in this second half.
Holt lays it off to Dani Alves. Now Oscar, not as prominent today as in some recent games.
It's negative, isn't he, Scolari? He wants somebody to make a forward run down the side.
Could almost put that to music, or the gesticulations going on between the two coaches on the sidelines there. Living every second, of course.
There's that space again. Look how wide. Marcelo's not even worried about defending when Italy have the ball.
Marcelo. Giorgio Chiellini to cut it out for the Italians. Part of that title-winning Juventus defence.
Any coach watching this game, going to play Brazil at some point, will be looking at how, when they lose the ball, Brazil, how high Marcelo is up the field and what a gap there is between him and the centre half. Candreva had made a good run into that space. The ball didn't quite get to him. Giaccherini's made a couple of runs. Far too open when the ball changes hands. It's Brazil at the moment.
And they have it this time. Dani Alves. Played the 1-2 with Hulk. It's good defending by De Sciglio, who was pacey and composed. Improved performance from Italy in this second half. They look much more of an attacking threat.
Playing with more belief now. Trying to play on the front foot. Bring the ball back that little bit quicker. I think that's why Scolari's saying to some of his players to make forward runs in behind if they're trying to squeeze up.
Chiellini and Hulk, the best of buddies. Now then, Fred. Still Fred. Goal! Fred. Brilliantly taken. 3-1 Brazil.
And that's what Scolari's just been asking for. The ball played over the top. If Italy are going to try and squeeze up and win it higher up the field, you have to make forward runs. We haven't seen too much of Fred, but there he gets in behind Chiellini, and Chiellini gets his body position all wrong here. But what a finish. There the ball changes hands. He runs in between Bonucci and Chiellini. Buffon's out the picture to start with, and then he just rides the challenge, and a really good finish. He lifts it over him, but this is the pass that makes it. But you have to have the centre forward to make runs in between and in behind the centre halves.
That's why he's going to keep the job. There was so much still to do when he got the ball. So strong, and then the composure to finish like that.
Chiellini just brushed aside by Fred, and that doesn't happen too often to Chiellini. Saw the danger too late. I think she was too close to the right back. But what a good finish from Fred.
First goal of the tournament, but his 6th in his last 9 internationals, which is a good return in anybody's language. He scored in both the games against England, the friendlies, against Russia, and also against Italy earlier on this year. So it's a kind of double against the Italians in 2013.
Just took another whack there. Just hasn't been able to really get in the game as I've seen him do for Bologna on occasions, and he did in the Euro Championships. He came as a sub on a couple of the games, but what a pass it was from Marcelo.
And Italy, who we always think of as a great defensive team, have let in 3 in 2 games running now.
It is a different Italy that you see now.
Brazil are going to top this group, barring a big Italian comeback here. Italy being second, but there might be something else here. No, they're going to be pulled back. Hulk.
And he gets away with it here, Chiellini. Once he lets this ball bounce, he was going to have problems. Hulk charging onto it.
So we're going to see Bernard on now. This exciting 20-year-old who's been linked with Spurs, who are on the verge of signing Paulinho, the Brazilian international, anyway, for about $23 million. That was Neymar's wonderful strike to put Brazil back in front, and then Fred's made it 3-1 since. And Neymar, quite sensibly really, bearing in mind he's had a yellow card already in this game, is just being taken off and put in cotton wool, ready for Wednesday night. Interesting to see this boy Bernardo, about whom there's a lot of talk. Just 20, the latest off the Brazilian production line, and Italy are going to make a change of their own shortly. Looks like Al-Shaarawy is going to play. Diamante to play it in towards Balotelli. Danche got it away. Sciaccherini. Corner. Don't forget, ESPNFC.com is your source for the Confederations Cup, with video previews, highlights, match recaps, great writers filing from Brazil, plus download the ESPN FC app for all the latest as well. And on August the 11th on ESPN2, watch out for ESPN FC on TV 6 days a week. Diamante looking to curl one. You could see the idea.
Got another corner out of it. good moments for Italy at the moment. Nancy played a lovely ball into the box, but Canche defended really well. And this one with the outside of his left boot, bend it into that far corner. Just took the deflection. Chiellini will be the main target. Bonucci's quite good in the air as well.
Candreva with the corner kick. Balotelli lets it run, and then Chiellini puts it in, but a free kick's been given. It won't count. Or is it going to count? Yes, he has given it. Well, I wasn't sure at all what the referee was doing there. Julio César is having a very strong word and getting in the referee's face. Now, it looked like he'd ruled that out, Stuart.
What he'd done, he'd blown the whistle for a penalty. There was no question about it. The whistle went, and he was going to give a penalty. Then when he saw the ball go into the net, he's given a goal.
Let's have a look again.
There's a bit of wrestling going on here, mainly on Balotelli.
Donche with the foul, wasn't it, there?
Gustavo then throws Balotelli to the ground, and then Chiellini puts it into the net. But the whistles are... Look at Aquilani. So there's the first foul. Here's the second one. Balotelli trying to get away from Gustavo. He then... Watch the referee. He puts the whistle to his mouth and points to the spot. And then he changes his mind. He can't change his mind after he's blown the whistle.
Because, in theory, the Brazilian defence have stopped playing, having heard the whistle.
You can't blow the whistle before the ball's in the net and then change your mind and give the goal. He's probably quite right. It should have been a penalty.
Well, Mr. Ermatov of Uzbekistan, the man who was good enough to referee a World Cup semi-final, has changed his mind. There was the confusion. He'd blown for something. That was quite clear.
He pointed to the spot as well.
But it's Chiellini who's got the goal, only his third goal for his country. And it's 3-2, and Italy are back in it. And El Shaarawy, who came into this game carrying a bit of an injury, is deemed fit enough to come on as a sub here. In fact, here he is waiting for that ball, the number 14.
This time he just gives Dani Alves a little nudge in the back. Maggio getting higher and wider down that right-hand side, getting across into the box. El Shaarawy, the Milan player, it was brilliant for a season and a half, scoring goals. And then Balotelli came to the club, and he hasn't scored anywhere near as many since then.
Well, he got 16 Serie A goals this season, but as you said, none since February.
He plays wide left of a front three. Balotelli plays through the middle for Milan. See him here on the left-hand side, El Shaarawy.
Good challenge by De Sciglio. Well, Italy are making Brazil work for this. Still something like 18 minutes to play. Italy have been involved in the best games of this tournament. This one's really come to life in the second half.
I have to say, they've scored a couple of goals without really playing well, Italy. Got that determination, that belief about them. They can get back into games.
Giaccherini. A player that Prandelli likes. Maggio plays it in. Balotelli. Looked like he had his shirt just tugged momentarily there. Goes on a lot, but it's a dangerous game to play. The referee spots that. Aquilani. Maggio to play it in again, and there is El Shaarawy with the header. But Brazil are being asked as many questions here as they've been asked in the other two games put together.
There's where the foul took place. The referee out of picture. Look, he's pointing to the penalty, and then,
Yes.
then he changes his mind. Unbelievable.
Well, I've got to come clean. He threw me.
I thought he'd given the penalty. I saw the way he blew the whistle and pointed, and what he did, he tried to change the position of his hand to get away with it.
Well, I have to say that is a new one. Maybe justice was done.
Yes, I think
in
justice
the
was
end,
done.
but I don't think you could find that in the laws, that the referee can blow and then change his mind based on subsequent action. If FIFA are going to make that change and allow it, they need to put it in writing, I think.
I think he made the rules up as he went along there, the referee. It looks as though Fernando is going to come on.
It looked a bit like what we used to call Rule 19. You do what you like.
But it's Italy that are starting to press. They look in the more threatening side now.
They really are. Just gambled a little. They decided to play high. Paid for it maybe on that Fred goal. But they are carrying some attacking menace.
Balotelli's looked... Oh, he hasn't had a lot of the ball. When he has backed into the defenders and got himself in the box and the ball's been played into it, it means that other players can go and support. It's been a bit difficult for Brazil to get the ball off him.
Here's Fred again. Chiellini to get it away from him. First involvement in this tournament for Fernando. He's for Grêmio in Brazil. 21 midfield prospect, 7th cap. Hulk it is who comes off, so that is a move, I think, to just shore things up a little bit by Scolari.
It is. He's going to play further forward. And his left-hand side, he's very narrow. Alves asking one or two things off his coach, Scolari. How he's setting up.
Here is Fernando. Quite a good finishing prospect here.
Certainly is. And Fernando's been brought on. I think he's going to play alongside Gustavo. Alberto was talking about it. Two holding midfield players on this occasion. He started off with just the one, and they've got two in there.
Italy, in fact, haven't lost since last November. A 2-1 home defeat against France in a friendly. Been on a good run. And there might be more here with Candreva making progress down the right-hand side. The cross was a disappointment.
A good play from Maggio and Candreva to get into the position. And it's far too easy. Marcelo goes out to the... He's got to block the ball down the line. It was obvious where the ball was going to be played. Marcelo is a great attacking fullback, but defensively he's been all over the place at times today.
Worth reminding ourselves as well that the USA had a famous 1-0 away win over the last year or so against Italy, with Dempsey getting the winner in Genoa for Jurgen Klinsmann's team. First time that had happened. Bernard need to pick the right pass for Oscar, who's been pretty invisible for the most part today, hasn't he?
He's made one or two good contributions. The player that's really disappointed me has been Hernandez. Really hasn't affected the game, the number 8 in midfield.
Yeah, they've missed Paulinho, haven't they?
His energy, his drive, his ability to get from box to box, win the ball back quickly.
Balotelli linking up well with Giaccherini, and foul by Hernandez. Free kick, Italy, 30 yards out.
Better play from Italy. A couple of 1-2s. Balotelli linking up the play. Giaccherini's made a difference since he's been on. Not just with his goal, but his general play. This is the right sort of range for Balotelli. It's quite a way out, but a chance to dip this over the wall. One for Neymar. Can he match it?
Will be Balotelli. Deflected. Brazil are able to scramble it away. Hit long by Bonucci.
There's the free kick. A deflection. It's a handball from Fred, but not so much he knows about that. That's what Italy were claiming.
They might have had a point because the hands were in an unnatural position.
Yep.
So that's the deliberate bit, maybe ticked. Candreva plays it in. Oh, beaten away. Maggio. He's wondering how he didn't score.
That's one of his attributes as well. Although he's a right wing back when he's playing for Napoli, he's very, very good in the air when they hit diagonals to him. There he attacks the ball with real determination. He was round the back, got a free header. He really should keep it down from that position.
Should have scored, shouldn't he? From
Should
there,
score.
that close in.
Just needs to get above it. His movement was good, his determination. You can't believe it.
Big let off that for Brazil. The crossbar rattled by Christian Maggio of Napoli. Italy do look as if they've got an equaliser in them here. Candreva getting it in behind. And El Shaarawy not quite able to get there.
El Shaarawy making a good run. He does play on this inside left position, making diagonal runs. He timed it well. He'd broken the offside line, although they were quite deep, Brazil, on that occasion.
Worth remembering that 4 months ago, Brazil had a 2-goal lead against Italy, and Italy pulled it back to get a draw. Maggio again. Pushed by Marcelo. It's a little bit ill-tempered, that exchange. He's a fairly volatile character, Marcelo.
Once again, it's a great run from Maggio. He knew that the midfield player had time on the ball. It made about 60 yards forward. He tries to take it inside Marcelo. I think he's a bit unlucky to give the foul away because Maggio was trying to dive all over the ball. I'm not quite sure how that was given Italy's way.
Has given them another dimension down that side, Maggio. It's been a enforced change with Abate going off with what we think is a dislocated shoulder, but it's worked for the Italians, really, the way they're set up for this second half. A lot of blue shirts in there. Candreva waits to take it. Brazil holding on a bit here. Balotelli! That was a very smart idea. One from the practice ground.
Yeah, they just didn't quite get the timing right because he ended up going beyond the near post, so it's really difficult for him to whip this in. He was tightly marked as well by Gustavo. And two of the Italian players in the box weren't happy with that decision to go to the near post.
Japan have got to go back in that other match. It's Mexico 2, Japan 1 in the closing stages. Both those sides will be eliminated from the competition anyway, but Mexico rather need a win for their morale and confidence, and particularly the coach Chepo. It's quite a finish here, though. Marcelo plays it down the line. Fred unable to make too much of it.
This is a really good test for Brazil because throughout the World Cup next year and through this tournament, in front of their home fans, when things start to go wrong, how are they going to react? And the crowd have been very quiet in the last 15-20 minutes.
And this is how it might be when we get to the World Cup quarter-finals next year, which is where Brazil have made a habit of going out just more recently. Hernandez towards Fred. Maggio having to play as the conventional right back there and get it away, but not very far. Marcelo want a free kick for that. Is he going to get it? No. Maggio to help it forward. Donche's challenge, and we stand corrected on his pronunciation of his name, not Dante, Donche, we are told, so we'll make a note of that.
Certainly will. Balotelli's really come to the fore in the second half, once again winning a free kick in a wide area, just holding up the plate.
Giorgio Chiellini. Aquilani. That's no problem at all for Julio Cesar. Confederations Cup here, continuing tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern. The world champion Spain taking on Nigeria. Just a draw needed by Spain to finish top in Group B. At the same time on ESPN2, Uruguay meet Tahiti. Coverage of the Confederations Cup live on ESPN2, ESPN3, and watch ESPN.
Disappointing from Gachilio. He's in a much better second half than he had first. He's got forward, as has Maggio down that right-hand side. Even players like Aquilani are starting to come to the fore now and getting on the ball more and picking out passes. That's when they're at their best. Italy look a much better team when they're playing more attacking football. So different to how it was many years ago.
More credit to Cesare Prandelli. He said he wanted Italy and the Italian fans to fall in love with the team again after what happened at the last World Cup. I think that happened at the Euros last year, and it may be continuing here. A really good record when he was with Fiorentina, and not one of the real big guns in Italy, finishing 4th, 6th, 4th, 4th and 11th during his time in charge. That's fair going, isn't it?
It's good to see when you read what the players' comments are about Prandelli, how he's got the team spirit right, how they understand his tactical information. Got a belief about the coach. I think he's got a belief about the players as well.
They will be a threat next year. They generally are at World Cups, if not the last one. And they played with a fair amount of arrogance. They thought that things would just fall into place for them, and it never did. They went out in the group stage. Played in towards Balotelli. He's just doing a bit too much pushing, I think, for the referee's liking.
That was good defending from Thiago Silva. Ball played into the box. Balotelli had made a good run. Thiago Silva just got across him, got the header in. Didn't try and hold a high line, stayed goal side and got to the ball first.
Quite a tense finish here. Brazil do want that top spot in the group. They do not want any possibility of having to play Spain next. Brazil v Spain would be the game we probably wanted to see at the last World Cup and didn't. We might see it in Brazil. Might. Other teams have got other ideas.
Just lost their shape completely here, Brazil, in this second half. Marquinhos with the foul. Hernandez. Marquinhos was booked in that first half. And Oscar.
Marcelo looking for the clever turn. Giaccherini no way through. Here's Bernard. Marcelo! Might be something on the rebound, and there is. And that will settle it. Fred again. 4-2 Brazil.
Well, that's the better side of Marcelo, breaking forward with Bernard. But we talked earlier on about Buffon being one of the top goalkeepers. He makes a blunder here. It's a poor effort from Buffon. Didn't have much pace in the shot from Marcelo. They win the ball back. That's good play. Bernard gets on it. Marcelo makes the run inside. Watch Buffon. Is he offside? It's very, very tight. Gets the benefit of the doubt, but really, Buffon should do better.
That did look suspiciously like he was just off, didn't it?
Was just off. But he gets there first, and he finishes it really well. That's not good from Buffon.
Yeah, he'd have wanted to just turn that round the post.
Well, with soft hands, he can just let that ball come into his gloves. And there again, Fred's the man on the spot. One great goal. That one, a centre-forwards goal. They're the sort of goals that he's been scoring for quite some while now.
A bit frustrating from this tournament before this, because he'd come off a couple of times. Joe had come on to take his place and scored in both the games. Now Fred's got two of his own. And there still might be something for Italy there. Al Sharawi was waiting.
He'd been more determined at the back post there. Until he was shooting it going, it ended up being a cross.
Well, who'd have thought it? Italy matches full of goals these days. 4-3 against Japan, 4-2 down here against Brazil. Only the second time Buffon's allowed 4 goals for Italy. The other time was the Euro 2012 final. You won't be happy with that one, you're right.
Oh, it was a poor effort from him.
He's taken the pressure off Brazil, who were really hanging on by their fingertips a bit.
It's changed the atmosphere inside the ground as well, hasn't it?
That's what they hope to be doing next year. The Jules Rimet Trophy. They're in love with it.
They'll take it to bed by the looks of it.
Yeah. I hope that's a replica one, by the way. Is that the real one?
They lost the World Cup in 1966. They certainly haven't lost this one.
What's he doing with it? Alves gets it away. Welcome, viewers, joining us having watched the Japan and Mexico game. Mexico winning by 2-1. You're in the closing stages of this one. Here we are now in stoppage time. It's been quite a ride, especially in the second half. This game being played in Salvador, with Brazil on their way to topping Group A. 4-2. Doesn't really tell the story, because Italy have pulled it back to 3-2 and looked like finding an equaliser until Fred came up with that 4th goal for Brazil a couple of minutes ago.
Well, how are they going to defend this one, Brazil? Balotelli's going to get on it. He's going to whip this ball into the danger area. Big players are up. They haven't defended too many set plays well so far, Brazil. Vulnerable in the last 20-30 minutes.
Balotelli thought he was going to shoot. He didn't. He gave it to Marchisio instead. Have Italy showed a way here to go about beating Brazil?
In the second half, they played higher up the field. Brazil then carried on trying to play their football. They kept on getting caught on the ball, but they have looked vulnerable. I just think that Marcelo, the left back, he's a great attacking player, but he's almost getting into forward areas before they've got good possession. So that's an area that opposition can get at. They've lost their shape as well with the substitutions. They've played the same team most of the time here.
Great play by Candreva there, bringing that ball down, but he was crowded out in the end. Donche, who scored in this game, the Bayern Munich player, his 1st goal for Brazil, bringing it away. Here he is again. Marcelo. Fred had surely drifted into an offside position, even if that ball had found him. But 2 goals for him in this one.
The goal that made all the difference was from that man Neymar again. Italy had got themselves back into the game, and then the free kick that he hit to make it 2-1 was the run that really separated the sides.
Giaccherini feeds it wide to Chilio. Italy have put up a spirited effort, but it won't be enough. They are going to be runners-up in Group A after this 4-2 win for Brazil, who finished the group with a 100% record and will play in the first semi-final in Belo Horizonte coming up on Wednesday. That's likely, we think, to be against Uruguay, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. Had to work for it, though, here. Brazil, good game in the end between the two famous nations. Let's hand it back now to our studio